Hello friends, welcome to my channel Analytics Mantra.
Today, we will talk about how to apply formatting and apply arithmetical operations in Excel using Python. For this, we will be using Openpyxl library. So let me open the Jupyter notebook first. Before moving to the coding part, let me show you the base data on which we will be applying the operations. So exercise 1 is the worksheet or the workbook on which we will be applying these operations. So this is the cricket data set. Basically, I have entered few rows and columns in order to demonstrate that how to apply these calculations on this sheet and how we can apply the arithmetic operations and apply formatting on the few columns or headers. Let us suppose this is the cricket data set. So these are the number of singles, these are the number of doubles, fours and sixes. So in this column we will be calculating the total scores for the particular player. Let us suppose in this it should be like 32 plus 30, this 5 into 2 as these are the number of doubles, plus 3 into 4 plus 6 into 6. So here is the total score is 66. So we will apply these operations on this part. So let me keep this worksheet open and we will not overwrite this worksheet. We will save down all the operations in other worksheet. For this, we will have to import OpenPyXL and we have to import few components like workbook in order to create a new workbook, and load workbook is used to read the existing workbook. So we will be using from OpenPyXL import workbook and load workbook. It has been imported. Now we'll check what is our current working directory. With this, we have pwd command, present working directory. Here it is the directory path, but I want to refer to the different directory path. So we can change the directory path using OS library. For that, we have to import OS library first, and then we will be using the cs directory function, csdir function, in order to change the directory path. So in if we are working on Windows, then you have to enter the double slash in order to enter the correct path. Otherwise, it will give an error. So now you can check the present working directory is the desired one. Now we have to work on exercise 1 notebook. So we have to define the object for that particular workbook. So what we will do, we will create an object wb and then load workbook. Then we can enter the workbook name. Exercise 1.xlsx. We have created this workbook. After that, what we will do, we'll check what is the sheet name inside it. How we can do that? wb.sheetnames. Sheet 1 is the sheet name in the workbook wb. Then we have to assign an object to this particular worksheet. How we can assign? ws is equal to wb, then sheet name. The object has been assigned to it. After that, what we have to do, we have to enter the header in H1 column. So we are keeping this workbook as open because we will be saving down all the operations in another workbook. So what we will do, ws header 1 is equal to total score. Now we have entered the header. Now we'll save down the changes in order to see whether our code is working or not. Then we will save down the workbook with the name exercise 2. Now you can go to the same folder. Now this workbook has been created. Now you can open and check the header name should be populated. So it's here. Now we'll perform this calculation in this column. How we can do that? Using the for loop, because we have to perform the similar function in multiple iterations. So we will be using the for loop for that. And how we can apply it? The syntax for this is for I in range 2 to 11 or 12, because the last index what we are entering means the loop will go to 2 to 11, means 2 to 12 minus 1. For that, we will be using the dot formatting in order to take the reference of the different cells. So let us suppose if I want to populate this first value in like if I is 2, then I will populate the value in h2. For that, in format, we will have to pass the value of I, and then we'll be using the sum function which I was showing in the Excel file. So for this, I will using sum function. Then in the same part, like we will be using the dot formatting. For this, like the singles are present in the D column, so we'll be using this and then multiply by 1. For doubles are present in E column, for this we will be using E, and then we'll be using the multiply by 2. And then we are using the curly brackets because in dot formatting, we'll pass the value in the format function after that. And then like F, where 4s are present, then we will multiply it by 4, and then G similarly multiplied by 6. And then we do have like 4 curly brackets over here, then we will pass 4i in order to fetch the particular reference of the cell. So I hope this should be correct. Let me execute this query, and then we'll be saving this workbook in order to check whether desired output is there in our file or not. Now you can see total scores have been calculated in column H. Before moving to the next part for the formatting, we'll close this file. Otherwise, it will throw an error before saving down. So what I want to do now, I will apply formatting to the headers. If I want to make it bold and change the colors. So according to it, I will write a code over here. So with the worksheet reference, I will be passing the cell value in which I want to apply the font. So, but before entering the font, you have to import the styles. Basically, to apply any kind of formatting, you have to import the style component. So how you can do it? From Openpyxl.styles import font. Otherwise, it will throw an error if you will not execute this particular statement. How you can do that? Like we do have different codings for the colors part. B stands for bold. We will pass the parameter over here, and where you can get an idea that how to apply the formatting in particular cell. Like let I suppose means I want to make it bold. So I am passing it B is equal to true. And then color formatting, I'm passing it. Let us suppose I'm passing a code, and type of the format we want to pass it using the name parameter. Let us suppose I want to make it as Arial. So yes, it is throwing some error. Let me check like what error should it is giving. The color coding it is giving correct. Basically colors must be this value, so I believe like the color coding is not correct for this. Yes, yeah, now it is correct. You can take the reference from the description part for the different colors. I want to make it B1 with the same color. I want to make C1 with the same color. D1, from D1 onwards, I will make it a different color. How I can make it? Using like, let us suppose this color. With E1 same color. and so on. So I have entered all the columns, but I want to make the aggregate column in a different color. So what I will do, I will change the color code for it, and it should be like the something it's like this one. So in order to check like I can give you an idea by opening a workbook like what colors I have applied to this. So for that I have to save down the workbook first, and I will keep the same name on which we are performing the operations. Exercise 2 XLSX. So then now you can open the workbook and can see like these three headers with a different color, green color, D to G in red color, and H with the blue color. So now you can see like how we can apply the formatting over here. But the different now will apply, will aggregate like how many total number of singles are there, total number of doubles, and what's the total of those scores. So how we can do, like let us suppose if I want to enter values like total number of singles here to doubles, fours and sixes, and we will make the calculation, column calculation over here, and according to that we'll calculate the final score over here on which we will apply some formatting. So let me enter the cell value in which I want to enter the total number of, basically the value as total singles. So I'm marking as total singles. Similarly, you can do for total doubles. Here you can do for total number of fours. Here you can do with the total number of sixes. So it is not throwing any error, means the syntax is correct. Now I want to make a sum of it. Let us suppose if I am saying like total singles over here, and in the next column, in the corresponding column, I want to calculate this as this thing. So how I will do that? Using Python, let me move to the Jupyter notebook, and now we'll derive some formulas over here. Let's suppose in B13 I want to derive this formula. So basically how I will do that, using the similar operation or the function that we use in Excel part. So we'll give the reference to D2 to D11. So I'm checking with the single statement, so it is executing correctly. So I will write down all other operations in it or the calculation. So D to E, and now 15 with F, and similarly with 16, and where we'll calculate the number of sixes. Okay, now in the next column, if I want to see like how many scores are there, like it is saying total fours. So what it will doing, now we have calculated this in this way, but in the next column I want to calculate like if in total match 32 sixes 32 fours have been scored, then what will be the total score according to it. So I will do one thing, this will be this equal to into 4. Now 128 is the total score derived from fours. So how I will do that using the Jupyter notebook. Now I will refer to the cell in which I want to, sorry, just give me a minute. Now I will refer to C13, and similarly what I will do, I will apply the calculation in this particular cell. How I will do that? Basically, it's so simple as we used to do in Excel. So like B13 multiply by 1, because we are calculating over here the number of singles. Now we will be calculating the number of doubles. Give me a minute. Uh, yes, B14, and here we will be referring to C14, and similarly, but here number of we are calculating the number of doubles, so we will multiply it by 2. Here we will multiply it by 4, and with last one as with 6s. 15, 16, 6. Now we can see whether the perfect formula has been applied in our worksheet or not. But before that, we have to save down the workbook. How we can save that? wb.save with the same name, exercise 2.xlsx. Now it has been saved. Now we'll open the workbook exercise 2 to check. Yes, we are getting the desired part, but the formatting is not appropriate. Means we want to change the formatting of this. Here we can close the workbook. Here we saw like we are referring to the different colors. Means if we are applying the same style on the different cells, now we have to define the enter the statement in each row. But we can enter the generic statement in order to make a variable which will contain the same formatting, and we can apply to different cells. Let us suppose if we are applying style 1, if we are defining style 1 as a variable which will store all the formatting, and then we can directly apply style 1 variable to apply the formatting on particular cell. So for that, let us suppose I want to make it as this. Now the color I want to make it as, like, suppose green. For that, what I will do, I will enter the code for this. Now I want to make it bold. For that bold, I want to make it at b is equal to true or bold equal to true. Now the next one is underline. If I want to make underline, then it should be like single. And the last one, if I want to mention the size, then there is a size parameter where I can enter it. And let's suppose I have marked it as a style 1, where it will save the formatting which I have entered into the parameters. Now I want to apply to the cells C13, C14, C15 and C16. What I will do, I will directly give the reference of those cells on which I want to apply, and then font equal to style 1. Means there is no need to write the same statement again and again, but we can just pass the style parameter. So similarly, we can do for all, like C13, 14, 15, and then sorry, C16. We'll enter it in next row. Now it has been applied. So before moving to see whether all the operations have been applied or not, we have to save down this workbook. Now we will open the exercise 2 workbook. Now you can see the formatting has been applied, the calculation has been applied. If there is single, now we had multiplied with 1. If it is double, then we had multiplied with 2. Then if it is 4, then it's multiplied by 4, and then 6 with 6s. So this is the thing that we, in this video we learned about, like how to apply the aggregate functions, how to apply any arithmetic operations, and apply any formatting using the Python. Means we can do this part in Excel also, but if I want to automate any particular file and I don't want to enter these formulas manually again and again, so we can enter these code in Python and can do the desired operation. Thank you for watching this video.